Hey everyone, this is Gary Kay, and welcome to another pre-ISE 2023 edition of my Rants and Raves video cast. Today, it's all about Matrox. Matrox is actually one of the few companies in the world that already has a full product line built on IPMX. We're going to talk about what IPMX is and why that matters in just a second. I'm joined with Rob Moody, who is the Business Development Manager for the EMEA region. Rob, how are you doing?
I'm just good, thanks, Gary. I hope you are too.
I am excited about going to a big trade show. We both were at Infocom. ISE last year was a pretty good show, but this year it's going to be a lot bigger. And I should say both at Infocom, as in I was there and the Connect IP product was there, which was kind of I would say the coming out party of your product line. So let me set the stage here just a second. Matrox, I know Matrox for 35 years. You know, my first graphic card I ever purchased for myself was a Matrox card because I was at the time into gaming, and y'all had the Premier cards. Well, Matrox has evolved over the years and done lots of things, but one of the things that you've done has been a pioneer in AV over IP, and y'all chose to support the AIMS Alliance. For those of you who want to know more about it, go to AIMSalliance.org. And the proposed standard IPMX, and IPMX is an AV over IP standard, that's based on the broadcast SMPTE 2110 standard. And Rob, y'all introduced a family of products called Connect IP. So could you give us an update on sort of where that is? And I'm guessing that's going to be a central part of your booth and your stand at ISE.
Absolutely. So Convert IP is, as you rightly say, the name of a family of products, between them covering a variety of network bandwidths, a variety of connectivities, HDMI, SDI, and new at the show, very excitingly, HD-based T. So that IPMX platform is giving a great bridge between some of the things that have become staples of us in the AV industry.
That's interesting. So I keep saying connect, it's convert IP. That's an interesting concept because what you're talking about of connecting sort of a bridge between HD-based T and AV over IP is real world, right? Because you're going to have some people that inside the room want to use HD-based T, but outside the room go AV over IP. So that's a very interesting concept. So in the same encoder and decoder product, you have both HD-based T and AV over IP?
So if we think of IPMX as being the conduit,
Yeah.
then our endpoints get you into and out of the conduit.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have a device that if you wanted to put HDMI or SDI or HD-based T in, it lets you get in. In many cases, it's the same product reconfigured that is also at the output. That makes it easier for the integrators to have a stack of cartons, of course. But you can take it out in whatever format you want. So if you've got an HD-based T only room that you want to bridge into the AV over IP network, you can.
Okay.
If you've got an HD-based T device that you want to bridge into the network, you can. So you can send HD-based T to HD-based T, SDI to HD-based T, HD-based T to SDI, whatever you want to do, the conduit enables it for you. That's the power of AV over IP with a new chapter. Uncompressed, low latency, but limited range HD-based T is now available everywhere.
Yeah, and if you kind of look at where the broadcast industry is, they've already gone that direction with SMPTE 2110. And so what IPMX adds is the Pro AV components to that. So it does everything SMPTE 2110 does basically. It's what, you can make it any bandwidth you want, but primarily I think most people are going to go with 1 gig. And then what you can do is you have HDCP and EDID managed through the system. So it's just like a Pro AV network. You get that virtual matrixing capability and switching like as if you were doing HDMI, but of course over the network. So I'm going to ask you a question though. When will IPMX, like it's the only proposed standard? I mean, you have SDVOE here, which is an ecosystem of like 50 plus companies. And then you have obviously Crestron with the NVX system who kind of stepped in the market first. You have Extron with the NAV system. You have a bunch of other companies out there. But IPMX being a proposed standard, logically, if it gets adopted, it's going to see probably wildfire growth. My question is, when do you think that will be ratified and sort of made a standard?
That's a very good and pertinent question, and I look at it like this. Yes, there will be a date, and there'll be a sequence of dates as
Mhm.
it evolves. But didn't we all start using HDMI before it supported
Oh
4K?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's with when it comes to
Even
standards,
Apple.
yes, there's never actually a finish date.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it continues to evolve. So the mere fact that we've got this family of products that are shipping now, that tells us that it's usable now.
Yeah.
And yet it's not just visited on the Matrox booth. There's a number of other manufacturers. There are
Yeah.
dozens and dozens of of convert IP systems that are going to be visible to people around ISE. So this is taking hold. But to directly address your question, yes, it is largely evolved from SMPTE 2110. There are so many common features with that standard that actually reaching a ratification within SMPTE would not be a difficult process.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of when you trigger it, because it's based on them. It's exactly what they like. The same goes for JPEG XS, which is part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
The JPEG XS is an ISO standard. If you've took a different path and said we're trying to get this ratified as ISO, it's already using their standard stuff. Yeah,
Right.
the follow along path is again relatively straightforward.
Well, so give me a date. Do you think it'll be in 2023? Or do you think it'll be 2024? What's your guess?
I think one of the things with with standards is getting everybody to agree.
Right.
Um, so and there's always someone who wants, can we just fit this in before we get
Yeah.
it ratified?
Of course. Yeah.
The Do I think it's going to be this year? No, I don't.
Okay.
Next year could easily be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I speak to people at SMPTE, and that's part of my background is in the pro video world, the broadcast world. And yeah, I've heard it said by one of the key people in the approval chain. Yeah, you really ought to get the application in for this now, and yeah, and
Yeah.
then have subsequent versions following it.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I'd like to see it ratified so that kind of handle it the way HDMI ultimately did handle it, where you have versions through and I think that'll happen. By the way, thanks to Matrox for all the work on IPMX. If it wasn't for your company and your active involvement with David before you and everyone else at Matrox, I don't think you'd be where you are today. I don't think the standard would be where it is today. And I think that IPMX is quite interesting. If you want to learn more about IPMX, go to IPMX.io. Of course, Matrox, that's easy to find, Matrox.com. The Convert IP product line is an entire family, not just an ecosystem, but a family of products. And IPMX is quite interesting because there are going to be other companies that will come out with IPMX products. What's nice about that is they'll be plug and play with what Matrox has. So you're not, if you choose to go AV over IP with Matrox and you're not on an isolated island, you're sort of sharing the island with everyone else that uses IPMX as it goes forward. So check out the Convert IP product line. They'll be in booth 5C500 at ISE. Of course, you can go to matrox.com at any time. Rob, anything else I should ask you about or you want to talk about with regard to ISE?
Well, I think following along the Convert IP strand, that IPMX standard, as well as saying the hardware will talk to each other, it
Mhm.
also defines through NMOS the API,
Right.
which
Yeah.
means that control software will also control other brands.
Yep.
So at ISE, we'll have a bit of software called Conduct IP, very nice software for controlling all NMOS devices, including other brands, not just Matrox. Really nice twist to this.
So it
Other
creates a
things,
control infrastructure as well, but still,
that's
by
right.
the way, still compatible with all the control systems that are out there. So you could adapt this with any existing system.
Absolutely, and visitors to our booth will be able to see one of our one of the industry's favourite controllers, that folks use for controlling these things. It's a Crestron system that's controlling the system, as well as our browser interface, our own software, and this Pan IPMX software, the NMOS based software. So all of those things will be on show, and yeah, there's a little bit of a teaser. We'll have some technology showings as well of stuff that will be on your review list for Infocom, but that'll be
I,
there too.
I definitely will. I'll be going by there. Matrox is one of my favorite stands at ISE every year, and I appreciate you coming on and and kind of spreading the information with what you're going to do at ISE. And we're only, a couple weeks away here from the show. But of course, you can go to matrox.com, see the Convert IP product line now. But if you're going to ISE, among the other companies we've talked to so far leading up to the show, make sure that booth 5C500 is on your list of booths to visit, stands to visit at ISE in Barcelona if you're going to be there. If not, we're going to go there and shoot individual videos of everything we talked about here, including with Rob at ISE. Rob, thank you very much for joining me today.
My pleasure, Gary. See you in Barcelona.
See you in Barcelona as well. And of course, if you want to see all of our ISE coverage, go to ravepubs.com/ISE or just click on the ISE link at ravepubs.com and we will see you there.
Great.
rAVe Radio with